It's your boy Bleeves.
This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right.
Everybody listen up.
If you don't use NordVPN, you could get hacked, and that would suck.
Bada bing, ching, ching, big profit. Even when the market's sideways.
Don't forget to sign up for MEXC. The link's in the description down below. That helps me out tremendously.
This it's not financial advice.
OKX is offering incentives for you to sign up. Make sure that you sign up today in the description down below.
I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right.
Go to atlashealthline.com for all of your Delta 8 gummy needs and for all your Delta 8 inhalation needs, I want to say. I don't know. Something like that. It's in the description below.
It's been a long day. I mean, a long week. Maybe a long year. So let's get something clear. We're going to stock up on some party favors.
Guys, if you're outside of America, or if you're lucky enough to be using NordVPN, you could be signed up to BitGet for all of your futures trading needs. The link is in the description down below. Hey guys, if you're trading in America, you can use up-down trading through crypto.com. It's in the description down below. Sign up today and start trading.
Carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way. So everybody gets sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great evening. My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves, where I'm about to tuck you in with all that sweet, sweet crypto knowledge that you have been needing. And Houston, we have a problem with Bencoin. Something has been going on with Bencoin all day long. We're going to come check this out. For those of you that are paying attention, it's mooning. The sumbitch is blowing up, continuing to mint new high after new high after new high. So that part has been just going absolutely bonkers right now. But here's the problem. The problem is they got a copyright infringement because ETHBen used it turns out that Ben is some kind of TV cartoon character or something like that. The image that they used, which was this little dog right here, was a copyright. So they got a copyright strike, and Uniswap won't trade it. So you have to use 1 inch or something like that in order to do trading. So, and by the way, no big deal. You can just, go to 1 inch or something like that and do your trading on a different swap than Uniswap. You can go to VoltiChange. You can go wherever you want, and you can trade Ben, right? But we've verified now 100% from the Uniswap team. It is the old Ben logo that was copyrighted that caused the issue from bencoin.eth. We've updated with TrustSwap, which is exactly where everything is going through in the GitHub repository, and are waiting for them to fix it. And then the problem is solved. Sorry for the issue. So right now, there's an issue. I don't want to show you how much I got, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do a trade thing. But let's just say it's going pretty well right now, that we're having a nice little run of it. So, yeah. Mark Kelly with a $10 bomb. Thanks for telling us about Ben. You are most welcome, sir. And look, here's the thing. There's two problems with Ben right now, not just this right here, but this is the more important part. The more important part is this price action. You can still see over here that in the 24-hour, it's up 66%. But as the day continues to creep on, as we get, and I'm using 2-hour candles, by the way. So you're going to go, this is 3, 6, 9, 12. So you're going to get to this 1800 right here. Pretty soon in the next 6 hours. In the next 6 hours, this percentage is not going to look nearly as attractive as it's looking right now. So the question has now become not just how it's doing, but can it go? Can it continue to send? Can it continue to move? Because what it needs right now is it needs that number I told you about earlier. It needs to hit at 28, 29 and get that next leg up. Now, let's come back over here. And remember, if you guys remember, we talked about this level right here, right? This is 95 million. Right here is about 100 million, right? I want to say it's right about there. Actually, 24, a little bit over 24. But realistically, it's been settling right here over and over and over again around this 2,400 line. That has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different touches at 24. Now, for 1, 2, 3 of these touches, we've had some issues. And for 2 of these touches, so making it 5 total, we've had a market in steady decline. We're now down 2.29 billion on today, but it was about 35 billion earlier. ETH was trading at about 1858 this time yesterday. It's now down to 1796. Bitcoin was trading at 27,400, is now down to 26,300. So we're starting to experience a little waning in what's going on in this overall market. That's not a good sign. That's in fact, this is going to create a big time problem. And if you look at the at the liquidity map over here, we're getting closer to pulling in some liquidity, but it's going to take a capitulation down to about 25,000 before we get a good amount of liquidity back into the market. And that's probably not enough to get us back to 30,000. This market has not been what we've wanted it to be right now for a short period of time. This is really kind of a meme coin frenzy. And look, one of the things that happens when you're at the top on Bitcoin, or you're at a top, you get one of these meme coin rallies. When Bitcoin gets boring, people start to send their money to other places. And we didn't get an altcoin season at all, but we did get this meme coin thing that's happening right now. I do think that means that the market dynamic has changed, but I don't have enough evidence other than I think the dynamic has changed. So, I don't have anything to back this up, but what I feel like is happening right now is this. I think that some real smart guys got together and they started thinking, and ladies, by the way, thinking about how can we get more liquidity? How can we make this market start to move so that so that we can create this bull run that we know is coming, because that always happens, right? And I think what they decided was meme coins. I think that that's legitimately what got decided. Now, if we take this and we turn on Bollinger Bands, you can see that, it's not really that tight. Like the range has been tightening, but it hasn't been this real constricting sort of level. Like it's just been boring, right? If we come into an hour chart and we start to look at it that way, then, maybe we see just a little bit more tightening on it, but not that much. Like it's this is, we saw this tightening right here, and then we had this move, but then it opened back up. So, I don't think that it's that either. I think that we just don't have enough capital in the market right now to have the type of run that I keep expecting we're going to have. It's just going to have to come in. And I don't think that it will. I think that we're kind of in pause right now because of the debt ceiling crisis with America. And that's not going to resolve itself probably until 7 days from now, probably at the deadline. So June 1st is going to be the moment that the U.S. would default. So I think a deal will be made before then. But now it's coming down to a staring contest to see who blinks first. And I don't know if the Democrats or the Republicans are going to blink first, but the logical move in all of it would be for the Democrats to blink, because they're the ones operating from a point of weakness. And at this point, they feel like it's strength. But if they want to win some elections, then they're going to have to do 2 things. Number one, they're going to have to not have the U.S. default on debt during them having control of 2 of the 3 branches of government. And number 2, they're probably going to have to be a little more friendly with cryptocurrency right now, because I think it's going to become an issue for a lot of voters, especially voters that you can win. And I think that's the important part right there. It's the voters that you can win that you have to take advantage of, and I don't think that they're doing that right now. So, but that's conversation that we'll continue to have over the next bunch of days. In the big news for the day, China has launched its own government-backed meta platform. So now there is a metaverse for cryptocurrency. This is just unbelievable. What is going on, everybody? Let me type through here real quick. What is going on? Hope everybody's having a good evening right now. As a matter of fact, if you guys are looking at some of the plays that we're making right now, just to give you kind of an update on what I'm in Ben. I'm in Grumpy Cat. I'm always going to be Volted, by the way. I'm always going to have Volt in my bag. But I'm on Ben right now. I do have some Cult. I do have Optimus. I do have MMAI. I do have Decanect. I do have Lillian. I do have Wagme. I do have NGN. I do have Volt. I do have Bone. I do have Shib. I do have BRL. I do have Kato. I don't have any Mong. I don't have any Pepe anymore. I have Psyop. Haven't sold. Haven't touched that. Don't have any monkeys. I don't have any Bob. But Bob did hit that level where I thought that was going to be an accumulation period, and then it bounced kind of quick, and I couldn't get in time. I'm just not comfortable getting in up here. It's got to be down here in this 35 range. Otherwise, no. RFD, which I look for hours. People have been telling me, "Oh, you're missing out. You're fading it because it's getting ready to pop. It's getting ready to blow up." Well, be about it. Don't talk about it, and make it happen. Okay. So that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. And I hope that everybody who's in RFD gets sent. I hope everybody gets a whole bunch of money because I really want everybody to succeed. I don't want you to not succeed. I just want you to take your profits up here. I want you to be one of the winners. I don't want you to be one of the losers that comes down here. You bought over here and now it's coming down and you have no shot. And now you have to sit there and listen to everybody tell you, oh, if you just hold a little bit longer, as you see sell after sell after sell after sell after sell, until your $1,000 is $100. And then you're like, what the fuck just happened? And all of those guys that told you, just hold, baby, they're no longer saying just hold because they cashed out and they quit and they made their money and they wrecked you. So I just don't want to see you get wrecked. So buy low, sell high, the end. Grumpy Cat, I'm in Grumpy Cat. It's trading at 1242 right now. It needs to have a little bit of a move towards the upside, but it's just a really solid. It's sounding like group of people that are in it. Very early. It's $5 million market cap. Now, when I say very early, I do have to stress that they're looking at this in a more long-term basis. This for them is not one of those pump and dump sort of meme coins. This is something that they've worked hard for. In fact, Slumdoge Millionaire went out of his way to make sure that there are no copyright issues, to make sure that there were no problems. They made sure that they were in compliance with everything. They met with the owners of Grumpy Cat trademark to make sure that everything was on the up and up for them, that Grumpy Cat here could be a parody and that it would survive any kind of parody. And they got the blessing on it. So, and by the way, if you want to go check that out, go follow MayaNix.eth. This is her over here. She is one of the bigger voices in Grumpy Cat. And that's her right there doing her workout. Workout Queen does a lot of interviewing bodybuilders, stuff like that. So cool person to know. And right here, there is a recording here where they talk about the trademarks and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to come check it out, go to @MayaNixEth, and you can hear that recording right there. Or you can go to Pro the Doge, and he has a link to it on his page as well. And you can go find out what you need to know about Grumpy Cat. I'm in it. I make some content for it, but I'm kind of an outsider looking in. I'm not really an insider sending or broadcasting out, if that makes sense. So the markets real quick, just kind of sideways right now as we wait to see what happens in the market. Look at this over here, though. NASDAQ up 1.5%, something big on the horizon right now. So anyway, China has launched their government black metaverse platform. Crazy stuff getting ready to happen in crypto. Bitcoin just got invaded by a big unknown miner. What's happening? And look at this. Just so you guys, this is crazy. This miner has earned 65 Bitcoin in a day, and nobody knows who it is. The interesting thing here, it's an unknown entity, and it's probably a mining pool. and they're saying, is this maybe the F2 pool? F2 pool, as you know, has been advertising everywhere just recently, saying, do you want to mine from home, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not really sure what it is yet, but it's speculated the unknown entity is F2 pool. The error is displayed on the trackers because meme pool's attribution logic is just missing them. Whether this is also, whether this turns out to be true or false will later be verified. This is because attribution depends on who the miners say they are. It's easy to impersonate another pool and not guarantee that that pool would notice and deny it was them. So F2 pool is one of the oldest and largest mining pools in the world. So it could be that it's them, but we don't know for sure. But they did mine 65 Bitcoin in one day. It's 1.7 million at the current spot rate. It's crazy. Ron DeSantis has announced that he is going to protect Bitcoin, and that was in his presidential campaign announcement, which was 30 minutes late, didn't work. And hey, at least we gotta say this, because look, some of this stuff is absolutely crazy, right? This is absolutely out of his fucking mind. Ron DeSantis going to protect Bitcoin. Ron DeSantis announces on Twitter that he's running, and Elon Musk can't get it to work right. And guess what Elon Musk did? He fired 75% of the staff when he started this. So how crazy is it that shit didn't work when you fire 75% of your staff? Which is funny as hell, right? Like when I looked at some of the news on it and I saw that it wasn't working. I saw YouTube, they were all saying like it didn't work, and it took a half hour and all this kind of shit. And it's funny when you see that. But you know what? That now leads Elon to say, hey, this is bullshit and needs to be upgraded. So guys, expect to see a Twitter Spaces upgrade of some sort in the near future. It may not be something that we use. What we're using seems to be working right now. So I don't know that there's a need for much of an upgrade on that. It's a low bandwidth, low frequency chat thing, right? So it doesn't really have to be updated completely. But one of the things that would be cool is if it were a large amount, maybe it shares some server space or something like that. So on the back end for larger ones, maybe you'll start to see some shared bandwidth or something like that start to happen. Maybe they'll figure out a way to make those bigger ones continue to run. So, but back to the news. DeSantis is in the mix here. Crypto security firm Unciphered claims the ability to physically hack Trezor T wallets, which were considered unhackable unless you actually had possession of it. Now, we're not going to get into the weeds on this because even if we did, I wouldn't know what the fuck they're talking about. But this hardware wallet is supposedly unhackable, and now they are going to reveal and show this is an audible security thing, and they're going to show you exactly how to hack it, and they're going to challenge Trezor to make it and fix it to where it's not hackable. Now, this does put at risk anybody who is using the Trezor, but these are white hats, not black hats, so it shouldn't leak into the wild, but they are going to show these guys. And of course, there is a bounty on it, and I think there's like $1 million bounty if you can hack it. So Trezor might be out $1 million pretty soon. So Volt has got cooking some vaulted things that just came out on their Twitter in the last few hours. Voltoshi looks like he's in the lab trying to make something work. I assume it's probably going to be something to do with either VoltiEco or VoltiFlex, but has not translated yet into price action. Now, there was a little bit of a move, but it wasn't sustained. You had a tiny little move up here a little while ago, but I mean, is that not this right here? Really? I mean, you know, you got it bouncing up to 72.67, and that was because probably Jared from Subway. Let's go see if it was. It was Jared from Subway. Jared from Subway with 101 ETH. He just stole. By the way, for those of you that are paying attention, he just stole 0.12 ETH from the pulled ETH over here on Volt. 2.51 million in total liquidity. He just took out. It's not a whole lot, but it's $250 roughly. So that's still something that shouldn't be happening. A little bit over $200. So the more money you steal out of these pools, the less there is available and the less value your tokens have. So just remember that. Don't support Jared from Subway. None of these. Look, they're just, it's a scam. It's a scam. So anyway, Bolt's got that going on. Ben.eth has the Psyop going. And remember, there is an airdrop bonus for those of you that hold Psyop and for those of you that hold Ben. If you hold Ben, you're going to get a share of 1% of Psyop tokens. And if you hold Psyop, you're going to get a split on 1% share of the Ben tokens that Ben.eth has right now. And that is 1% of the supply, by the way. However, it's not going to be equal. For those of us who bought and held and never sold, we get extra. So that's going to be super cool. And we don't know what the real market cap is yet, because if you come over here to Psyop and you look, the Psyop is still hard at work, right? The Psyop is still ongoing. The Psyop is showing a 1.84 billion market cap. Now, market cap at this point is closer to, 50 million, maybe 100 million. I don't know. At this point, with a total liquidity of 17.74 million, if you just consider that maybe 10% is the liquidity pool, then that would mean that it's 177 million market cap, no matter what it is, and when you got in there. So you might be in a great, and I mean great place. Now, the other thing is, it could be less. It could be less. I think at one point, Ben said that it was about 35 million, something like that. Let me go into the chat here for 1 second. Shh, don't tell anybody. So, but yeah, so we're when this launches, again, I think maybe a week ago, Ben said it was about 35 million market cap, quietly and secretly. So when the Psyop is over and when all the stuff is done and it's actually done, then you're going to see a lot more value for your investment. And this is all just a cover up, and this is all just a crazy campaign that he's running right now. When we see the actual number, it should be crazy. So I think that maybe, and I don't think it's going to be life changing, by the way. I mean, just consider here, some of these guys are going to have really nice, because some of these guys, to be fair, like some of these guys sent in 5 or 10 ETH already, and they got 20 or 30 or 40 out of it. So they're pretty happy with their positions. But I mean, we're going to see is Ben.eth for real? Did he take care of everybody the way that he said he was? Or maybe this is just a good score. You know what I mean? I put in 0.1 ETH, which is worth I want to say like 0.3 ETH right now. So I mean it's triple. So I'm not going to complain about it. But again, I don't have the airdrop, and this airdrop might just be a little bit, might just be a lot. Just depends on how this whole thing plays out. And then I get more Ben tokens for that. And look, I got a lot of Ben tokens. So I'm feeling pretty good about Ben tokens. So I'm going to ride this out, see what happens at the end. And at the end, it should be a pretty fun ride. But here's the other thing that should be noted. At one point today, Ben and Psyop, both created by Ben.eth, were 1 and 2 on the trending charts. That is absolutely bonkers. Neither one of them buy and pay for Uniswap to run them as number ones either. And then, by the way, here is the Slumdog, in case you wanted to play the recording over here. So that, I think, covers that. Liquidity. So I think that the most interesting part here is, and if I refresh, it's just going to move it down here to 26.1, a little bit further down. So I think what we're getting to is we're getting to this spot where the liquidity pool is, and we're going to have to go to the day chart over here to get the lines. But I think that we've broken support over here. A couple days confirmation is what we would really need in order to get it. But I don't know that this 25.2 area down here is going to be enough liquidity, because if you look at the liquidity map, then you're looking at 25.1 maybe. So we're probably going to have to go below, and we're probably looking at 24 at least. And at 24, you're only grabbing this much liquidity right here. That is not enough to help get into this area. What you need really is a 20,000 or 22,000 dip into that area or down into this area right here. So if you could grab this much liquidity, then that would help a long way, because that's going to give you a much better running start at around 29,000 when this all liquidates and starts to head back upwards, and you've got all these people investing back in. I mean, really what would be great is if we got a dump down, and don't you wish you knew, by the way, don't you wish you knew that they were going for it and that they were going to go to, what's this number? Let's call it 21.5, if you knew that you could buy at 21.5 and you could put in a long at a great position, and you knew that it was just going to get eaten up like crazy because of all of these things getting wrecked, if you knew you could get into that position and you knew how strong Bitcoin was going to be at that point, would that not be something to 5x or 10x and just go super long on with a good stack of money and watch that thing just absolutely explode over time? Because if you consider that next year, around April, a lot of people are predicting right now that Bitcoin should be in or near all-time highs or even higher. If you just consider that, you would be getting in at a superb discount, especially if you're using leverage trading at this point right here. Now, of course, if you do that, there's always risks. I don't want to see anybody get wrecked, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, do your thing and make your money. You know what I mean? And I've got people, by the way, if you haven't already, sign up for MEXC, because, I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, there are people out here making millions of dollars every single day. I'm watching them making all of this money every single day. It's absolutely obscene how much money can be made from these futures trading. These guys are doing just a fantastic job overall at what they're doing with futures trading right now. So kudos to them. We're still seeing some. Here we go. Now we're starting to see a good Bitcoin dump. 25.9. We've lost 16 million in liquidity. 1764 over here. Let's see how this is affecting the broader markets over here. 2308 on Ben. Ben is not bowing to anything. And by the way, guys, I want to point this out. If you just take 2308, and let's say that you had, I want to say, let's say you had 100 billion coins at 2308, then that's worth about, what's it, $23,000. So you had 100 billion coins, that would be worth about $23,080 right now. Yesterday, that would have been worth how much ETH? 23080 divided by 1850. That would have been worth about 12 ETH. At 1767 today, it's now worth 13 ETH. So you actually made another ETH by just sitting on your Ben coins right now and just holding. So you made out better by holding on to Ben at this point. And by the way, this is an outlier. This is not something that normally happens. But if that's what you were doing and you were hedging, this would have been a great play over here for you overall. There's still a lot of money coming in, by the way, even though we are seeing this drain on liquidity happening in the market right now. But again, this has to happen. I do think that we're going to probably stop at around 1600 on Ethereum, and Bitcoin again 25,200. I can't see it. If it goes down much further, I can't see it lasting. I think that any kind of move down below 25.2, that's the long-term bearish, right? Because if we mint a few candles, if we're sitting in there for 8 to 12 hours, then we might be using this as resistance, and that's not going to be good. That's going to break everything, and that's going to be horrible. But what I could see is maybe a bounce right in this area right here at around 23.8. Maybe at 23.8, if you look at the liquidity map, then 23.8 gives you, it still doesn't give you enough. I really think that you need to get into this. So I think we really need to see a breakdown to 21,000. So this is going to be right in, I mean, shit, it makes perfect sense, actually, to go into 21.4. 21.4 seems to be the number right there. And you can see this is actually a really good area because it represents a top over here. It represents a support over here. This 21.4 line right here, if we can hit that and we can bounce down onto that, that will give us that violent sort of knee-jerk movement that would take us back up in just like a rapid couple days. Like we come down here and we wick here a little bit, and then boom, we're off to the races. This would be the perfect place for you to set a long going out with like 5 or 10x on a good play and just let this thing ride. Because I mean, we're going to go to 37,000, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. And it's already basically written in the stars, and it's written in the stars because I've said it, right? It's not true, right? But still, if we come down here to 21.4, we grab enough liquidity that it makes it a lot easier for us to get to 31,000. And we get into 31,000, that's where it gets interesting, because here is the part that really matters. When you hit 31,000 right here, here's what you got to understand, right? When we're coming down here and we're liquidating, it's going to make the price go down. It's going to make the price go down because what we're doing is we're popping all these longs, right? And we're causing them to sell, and the sell drives down the price. So that leads into this. And then we have that big cascade, which puts us at that 21,000 level. And all of these sales right here, there's buy orders in this place too, right? So we'll see a ton of buys come in, which will send this thing back up very quickly. And then it puts us in here. Now these shorts are going to liquidate their positions too. And what that means they're going to do in a short is they're going to buy Bitcoin. So on a long, you're selling Bitcoin. On a short, you're buying Bitcoin. So what's going to happen on these shorts is you get into this 31,000, and then you just see an enormous amount of buys, an enormous amount of buys, an enormous amount of buys, an enormous amount of buys. And it doesn't stop until you get to 37,000. It breaks off right here. That's 37,300, which is why I keep telling you 37,300 is the number. That's where we're going to end up settling in the long run. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. I hope you understand how this chart is working. That's what we've got. I mean, that's what we got going on right now. So to tell you guys what I'm doing right now, I'm holding Bencoin until 2880. I think at 2880, I'm going to sell about 75% of my bag. I'm going to leave a little bit in. But I'm not taking it as profit. I'm not taking it in order for me to do anything with other than, I might keep a couple thousand out in case I need to see Mr. Hanky and buy some smack or something like that. But at 2880, 29, we'll wick around here. I will take 75% out in this range, and then I will buy that much back almost on the way back down here, because we'll touch 24 again, because that's going to be the next range. And since that's going to be the next range, that's where I want to get in right now. I do think that if you check this out and we just kind of take this as our consolidation point right here, and you do a fib retracement based off of the low here, and you pop it up into here, then you can see what I'm talking about. Like, I really think that we're going to come back down into after we hit this area. Then I think that we come down into this 50, which is about 22, 23. I'm not looking for the perfect play. I'm looking for a good solid play to accumulate more. And that's going to be right in this little range right here. And then if it goes through that range right there and we get into a good position there, then that is exactly where this gets interesting. That's exactly where we can see this thing starting to really pop. So, and then if that happens, that's going to be, if Ben can make that move in this overnight, despite that this market is, by the way, tanking just a little bit. It looks like the bulls are still fighting. They're not capitulating yet. But if we can still see this move, and we can actually get this move, and then here's what we want to see, by the way. If we see this wick move up and we do test this and we get into this position, and instead of coming all the way down here, we start to do this shit right here, I'm going to regret everything because it's going to keep going. And if it keeps going from this position, then it looks like we're going to go up to 33 from there. So, and here's the other thing. It takes a little while to get the liquidity in order to push this thing up. But Ben has agreed not to sell his tokens until a 500 million market cap. And it is possible, just based on what Pepe did, that if Bencoin gets a little bit of the buzz, if it gets a little bit of everything, if it gets a little bit of that fire that Pepe got, it is absolutely possible that it passes Pepe at that 600 million market cap. It would be, this would be one of the most miraculous moves that you've ever seen. So I don't think that it's likely, but there's a lot of positive sentiment that's going on for Bencoin right now. So it is possible. Hey, we even got Bree in the house. What's going on, lady? It is possible that you could see something, just in my mind, would be ridiculous, right? Because I don't see that on the charts. I don't see that as an actual play. But here's the other thing. Frankie Candles was talking about this, and he's like, I'm waiting for a dip. I'm waiting for this thing to retrace about 40% before just aping in. But there's no retracement. Like, it's not stopping. It's idling in this position. But I mean, here, so just humor me here. If we're doing a standard fib and we're just saying that this was the move, right? At some point, it has to come down into this level. It has to come down into this level. It has to reasonably come down to some levels that are good entry points. And at best, it came down here. And look, there's a wick right there, by the way. You can see, by the way, that there was this wick right here. But these are wicks from bots trading. This is not actually coming down to these levels. That's how strong the buy pressure has been. Like there's just no real there's just no real move to the downside that's been happening yet. Everything just gets stopped and everything keeps getting bought back up. And guys, there are big, I mean, there's look at the buys that are coming in. At even the sells, the sells are getting shrugged off. But so matter of fact, there's so much trading going on right now that you can't even see all the buys. This is just in the last couple of hours, that because there's so much trading going on. It's just gigantic trading volume. What are we trading at right now? 38 million. So there's 38 million in Ben trading volume right now. How much is there in Pepe? There was 80 million at its top, right? It's about 5 million right now. So over here, and this is just over here, by the way. So 5 million in trading volume just over here, but 38 from Ben at this point. And by the way, this is funny as shit, but Ben Armstrong today didn't know that Poloniex was already listing Ben. So he's like, yeah, guess what? Poloniex. And people are like, yeah, it's already listed there. And he's like, ah, shit. And then, of course, MEXC's already got Ben listed. And now he's made a deal that he thinks on Friday there's going to be an announcement of another listing, a top 15 exchange. And he said that's just the start of the top 15 exchanges. When he was talking about 8 new exchanges coming in fairly rapid succession and just continuing to pump this thing, he was talking about it starting on Friday and that it was 8 of the top 15. So not lower tiers, nothing like that. Like this, the market dynamic has changed. So I can tell you this, it's very simple right now. If it's on Poloniex, it's going to be on Huobi, because that's just the way that it works. We'll use spot here, instead of derivatives. It's embarrassing to be doing it, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to say most likely, because we're already on MEXC, I'm going to say BitGet is the one. I would say BitGet is probably the one that you're going to get the listing on immediately. And then I also, by the way, just in case you guys did not see it, and it's not very big here on spot trading, but when you come to derivatives trading, Bybit, Bybit is accumulating Ben right now. So you're going to be seeing some Bybit trading start up on it very shortly. If you want to, you can go check the wallets to check that out. There's no announcement for it yet, but it's coming. So anyway, you got Huobi down here, probably going to be part of Poloniex. Gate.io is going to drop. BitGet's going to drop it. L-Bank is going to drop it. L-Bank has been just killing it, by the way. MEXC and L-Bank have just been out of control. Bitfinex has been pretty good. Here's Bybit. So they do have a pretty good spot volume. Bitstamp, OKX, KuCoin, Kraken. Look, all these guys at some point are going to have the Bencoin. There's some functions and there's some uses. And remember, Coinbase has been an outlier on Pepe, but Binance did adopt Pepe. So you might see, because Bencoin now has function and use. And by the way, there's 4 pillars involved in Bencoin, which are going to be revealed. What is today? What fucking day is today? Is today Wednesday? Jesus Christ, this week is going by. Okay, so tomorrow morning, I think maybe on BitBoy Crypto, you'll be seeing a layout of what's going on in this whole thing. So just kind of pay attention to all this kind of stuff. Let's go through the meme coins real quick, and then let's wrap this up and put a nice little bow on it. So you got Ben over here trading. If you got in with me, if you've been here with me, guys, we had a great call on this one, and I hope it continues. If you got in with me on Psyop when I was talking about Psyop, by the way, I've been asked to make Psyop content, so I may do something with that, but I don't know for sure yet. Cult 3170, MMAI 2252, Optimus 1686. Optimus still struggling, trying to get that little pump going. It's just not happening yet. The market is still very, very fickle. Decanect, Lillian. By the way, Optimus, the reason it's not pumping is it's already got a 15 million market cap. If you're not under a 5 million market cap, people are just kind of shying away because they want that big pump, right? Lillian's at 4103. WAGMI 3147, NGN 1341, Volt 5468. It used to be that Voltoshi could just kind of tell you that something was coming and people would get excited. Well, that's not working right now. So back to the drawing board to figure something out. And that's what he's doing right now. When he says cooking something up in the lab, that there's, and look, here's the important thing. I think everybody has to remember this about Volt. There's really not much you can do. Once this is done, it's been done, right? Once the move down here has happened, there's not much you can do to fix that other than to come up with exchanges, create opportunities, close out V2, get to everything onto V3. Once all this is done, then you're going to be, it'll be a lean, mean fighting machine, quote unquote. And maybe, something starts to happen here. When, again, because this is a zero tax thing right now, my goal right now is 7,000. At 7,000, I'm selling everything in the hopes that it comes back down and I can accumulate more. Now, when I say everything, again, we're not talking all of my tokens. We're talking about 75%. And then I'm looking for this dip to come back down, and I'm going to play a dip and I'm going to accumulate some more. And then I'm going to get back in. Now, in the event that it never comes back down, then I'll just lose part of my position, and I'll be okay with that because I want it to succeed. And I don't have to be invested in it for it to succeed. It would certainly help. And if I have to do that and end up FOMOing it or putting myself into a worse position, it's a risk that I'm willing to take based on the way this chart is laid out and based on the way the chart is trading right now. I really think there's going to be a move, and we'll start to see a move. It'll come up here to 63. And then I think we might see a small rejection back down into the 6th level, and then a move to 7. And then there'll be some profit taking back down to 63. And that's about a 10% swing right there. So I have an opportunity to pick up at least 7.5% more of my tokens, which anytime I can pick up more tokens from Volt, and I think I got like 9 billion right now. So anytime I can pick up more and get to a 10 billion number, because my fucking brain will work better when I just see 10 billion, then that's going to be nice for me. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, Mong is DOA at this point. There's still volume. There's still maybe some life, some possibility. There's a relentless and enthusiastic group of people. But I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, this is I told you so, right? I mean, this is I told you so. Psyop, we don't know what's going on with Psyop yet. It's going to take a few more days. Pepe's down to 1368. Pepe's almost in that buy zone again. So if you're looking to accumulate Pepe, let's take a quick look over here. It did not hit the bottom over here with a big Jared from Subway move. But if it comes down here a little bit further and we get into this 11 or 1200, if we get into this sort of area right here, this is the bounce zone. The last time we hit this level, this is what happened. It went up 100% fast. So if it does it again, it will not go up 100% fast, because we're obviously establishing this sort of line right here. But if we can get a move, and I know I'm moving around a lot, but it's my goddamn show. If we move down here to 1,000 again, it's going to come back up here to 1,600. So that's a 60% move. And it's not guaranteed. Nothing is ever guaranteed, but it's almost guaranteed because that's what it keeps doing. So you could also say maybe this wicking is a little bit extreme. And this becomes dangerous right here, because now you're looking at it coming this way. This is probably a more realistic, but it's still 16, 15, you know what I mean? Like, it's still 50%. So Pepe still has some life in it, but it's going to have to do a little something more than what it's doing right now. It could be that, the liquidity's pulled out of it. Monkeys, I gave a shout out to the monkeys because they've been doing fantastic, right? They've been holding their chart. It did dip down. It did get into this fib retracement area, and then bam, right here, it bounced off of it, and it's about to come back out. So that's about a 30% lift off of the dip that just happened. So kudos to them. Bob is coming back down into the buy zone, 38. And remember, every time Bob hits 38, Bob moves pretty hard off of 38. This was the first time it went to 38 and it went up to the all-time high. Then the second time it went up to 92, which it's continued to hit 92 3 or 4 times. Again, it does have, if you watch the way the chart is moving, it is descending in this channel just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, right? So the next move on Bob, if it hits 35, is going to come back up here maybe to 75. That's 110%. Still a lot of enthusiasm for Bob. However, it should be said that with things like Ben popping off, with things like Psyop that are really popping off, like when the money starts to move away, it's very tough to regain all of that steam. So I'm going to be interested to see whether Bob does it or not. RFD is back down to 57.25. And look, since I said you guys are going to get wrecked and that this is bullshit, since I said that, everybody has been coming out of the woodwork to tell me I'm wrong and to tell me, tell me no. And look, I don't care. I want this thing to go. Like, I want everybody in RFD to either make their money, or if you got in a bad position, I want you to make your money back. Like, I'm not trying to fudge you. I'm not trying to tell you that it's not going to be. What I'm telling you, hell no, I didn't get out of Ben. What I'm telling you is, I want you to buy the bottom and I want you to sell the top every time. As a matter of fact, Selmo, I'm up magnificent at this point. And what I did say is I got out from my first one, and then I got in at a lower price with a bigger bag, and now I got a shitload of it, and it's pumping super fucking hard. So loving Ben at the moment. But again, like RFD, I don't know that it's going to do 100 million again. I know that they've got some angel investor with 9 figures, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I don't care what they have. I care about you guys and you making money. If you got in down here low and you got out here high, good for you. If you got in here low and you didn't get out here high and you're sitting right here thinking, well, it could turn around, take your fucking money out. And you don't have to take the whole thing out. Just make sure that whatever you put in, you can get that back out. And if you got in a good position, you should be able to do that. So you should be safe. Be safe. If this was a play and you didn't make anything off of it other than break even, and if it crashes, you got whatever you get from the crash. So if you just made a few bucks off of it, you had fun with the run, okay, fine. You learned a lesson, cool. But don't get wrecked. Don't lose your money. Stop giving your money to rich people over some bullshit. And everybody who was not listening to me that thought that I was nuts and didn't get out right here, well, here you fucking are. And all you have right now is, yeah, we're going to reverse, baby. And you know what's happening? Look, I'm telling you, this is the same fucking chart that every other token is. Look, I'm going to show you this chart, and then I'm going to show you, what's that other fucking chart? Lambo. Let's go do Lambo. Do you tell me how this is different than Lambo? Because Lambo, I think, did 100 million market cap too. So let's use Lambo. And is it this fucking Lambo right here? Yeah, 23 days ago. Well, go ahead, smart ass. Tell me how it's different. Because what you got here was you got the run up to 100 million, which happened right here. Then you got the move here. Then you got the reversal where you thought you were going to go back up here. We're going to be an all-time high, boo. And you got the big wicks over here. The big wicks are not. This is Jared from Subway making it look that way. Here's what actually happened. You got up here, then you got down here, and then it was all downhill from there, right? Nothing about it is going back up, right? So then you got this move, then you got the reversal, and then it came back down, then you got another mini reversal, then you got rejected, then you got another mini reversal, and you got rejected, all the way back down. Now, tell me what's different. Because here you go. This is where you got your 100 million. This is where you got rejected. It's the same dynamic. It's going to play out the same way. I'm just trying to protect you guys. Again, I'm not shitting on the project. I don't know the project. I don't know who's behind the project. I don't give a fuck who's behind the project. Elon Musk could be behind the project for all I give a shit. I'm worried about you guys and making sure that you guys are making your money, not him. So I don't give a shit who's behind it. I don't give a shit how much money. I give a shit that you guys are coming out on top. That's the only thing that matters. Because we have to win over the rich people. Otherwise, they just take our money every single time. Now, Monkeys, again, I told you Monkeys is having a nice little reversal, moving its way back up. Grumpy Cat, I got into down here at this little level here. I got in like 99. Then I went down here and got in a little bit more at 92. So I'm up 100% on this. So I'm feeling pretty good about the position. It's consolidating. I don't like that it didn't break out a little bit higher like I would have liked for it to settle up here and not just wick, because I always feel like that wick is just, you know, a Mevbot doing its trading. So I'm not real fond of when I see that. But it did come back down. I do hope that that's a sign of a reversal and another bounce. And it should break out. And if it doesn't break out, it's going to end up breaking down. Now, if it does break down, then we're going to be testing lows. And 9,000 looks like a possibility, because you can see a lot of wicking. You can see a lot of move down here in that 9,000 range. So it is possible, if there's no enthusiasm, if we don't have a lot of pump going on, that it comes back down to that level. Now, it takes an announcement. It takes exchanges. It takes all this kind of stuff to start happening in the positive. These guys are talking about it like it's going to be a long-term project. It's got Slumdoge Millionaire behind it. It's got Maya Nix behind it. You know, it's got some ninja somebody or other. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I'm learning this as I go, by the way. So it's got some strength behind it. So I think that Grumpy Cat's going to have something. And it also cleared any copyright issues like Ben got caught up in. So, I mean, it should have a nice little run. And then finally, we got Escobar, the Yayo coin. I want a token. I don't know. I mean, but it really needs to have some kind of life and reversal. It's still got 420 volume. What the fuck is that, by the way? Are we really doing that right now? So the volume, the volume on, are y'all hearing me? Can you hear me? The volume on the drug coin is 420. Are we really doing this right now? Oh my God, somebody's got to go in there with $1,000 and buy, just because this is going to drive me out of my fucking mind. I'm going to be staring at this for an hour until this number changes. Jesus fucking Christ. I cannot believe this. Like, guys, law enforcement, this shit's still illegal in some states. Come on, guys. God damn it. Bunch of chronics. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so 420,000 in volume. Esco's still got some decent volume on it, and it's only got an 800,000 market cap. So I do think a reversal is there, and it's got a nice team behind it, or at least it's got a well-spoken team of people that seem dedicated and appear to know what they're talking about when I listen to them in the chat. So, and they do have live streams and stuff like that. So I feel like Esco has an opportunity, has a team behind it. But it's going to take some, everything is all about listings. It's about exchanges. It's about expanding the brand. So if you can do that, then you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. But, you know, as the days continue, this is what feels good, right? The same thing happened. This did not happen the same way as RFD. This happened more like Ben did, right? Because it came all the way down originally from its big pump, and then it minted these right here, this double top, which came down off of that, and then it came back to that top one more time. And what I'm noticing is when it does that, it usually has a reversal and goes up above that. And you can go back and you can look at all these tokens. Again, use the same logic here. If you get a double top over here, and then create a line off of that, and if you hit that a third time, then you do tend to bounce upwards off of that. I don't know that that means another all-time high. I don't know that that means anything super special. I just know that that seems to be one of those patterns that seems to develop. Could be the same developers every single time. Could be, you know, it could just be that, you know, you get lucky or whatever. So I have no idea. But what I do know is this breakdown on Bitcoin has got to, I hope we get a violent sell-off at some point, like very quickly, you know, a flash drop to 16 on Ethereum, a flash drop to 23, 24 on Bitcoin, and then boom, we can be off to the races. Because if that happens, by the way, God damn it, go to MEXC. Look, if we get a flash dump for any, instead of you freaking out, instead of you doing something like crazy, right? Instead of you doing something like that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you're signed up at MEXC to do futures trading. If you're overseas, I want you to sign up at BitGet. If you're a NordVPN customer, and if you're not a NordVPN customer, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you, right? You're broken inside. I guess that's all I can say. But go sign up at either MEXC or BitGet and start doing futures trading and get yourself ready and put yourself in a position to succeed. If you there was a guy who put $270 into a long on Bitcoin using 200x leverage. He actually called it right. He actually called it right using 200x leverage at the bottom, which I think was like 15,700 or something like that. Like, he called it. It bought, it didn't liquidate, and now this guy made something like $187,000 off of that long. at the top. Now, I don't know, by the way, if he ever cashed out. I just know how much it was worth at that time. And you can go look this up, by the way. This guy put in just $270 on a long on Bitcoin with 200x leverage and bought the bottom, and it went up 187,000. I want to say it was 187,000. But again, this is when I was telling you it was going to go to 27.4. So it might have been 27.4, but it ended up going over 30,000. We almost hit 31,000. So, I mean, this is kind of crazy. We can agree about that, right? Oh, yeah. And by the way, when it comes to Ron DeSantis, do you believe Ron DeSantis or...
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald out.
Oh, sorry. See that? I went from Donald Trump to Joe Biden, right? That was funny, right? Oh, fuck you guys. What a room. What a tough room. All right, guys. Anyway, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to come check me out in this evening. I know you got plenty of things you can be doing with your time. Remember, Bencoin is going crazy. All right, what's the question? God damn it. Here we go. What's the question? What'd I miss? I missed some of these because I'm going crazy. I'm going like out of my mind, right? Now, Selmo, by the way, Psyop does not have a $2 billion market cap. That is a Psyop. That is a psychological operation. They're messing with you, right? It's launched, but they haven't really revealed the actual thing yet. When it's revealed, then it's going to be a little bit different than this. But they're also, by the way, if you hold Psyop right now and you hold in the presale like I did, then you get free Ben coins. And if you hold Ben coins, you get free Psyop, both on Friday, both coming from Ben.eth. So if you don't have any Ben coins right now, get you some Ben and you'll get some free Psyop for holding on to your Ben. So that's a possibility for you. I have a lot of Ben, so super happy with that position right now. But anyway, so guys, here we go. So everybody's going to support. Everybody is going to support Volt. It's just taking a little bit longer to get it done. I don't know why, by the way. I don't know why it's taking any time, but I know it does take some time to convert those over. So we'll see that in the next couple days. I'm sure. Like I know I've been saying that for a couple days, but again, remember, I'm not on the team anymore, so I'm just kind of flying blind out here, guessing for myself. But I am certain that all of this will be worked out in very short order. So, okay. So Luke, if you can't buy Ben right now, there's a reason. You're going to have to use NordVPN and then go to 1inch or use VoltiChange or something like that and buy it, because Uniswap has disabled trading on Ben for just a little while today because there was a copyright infringement on what Ben.eth used. Like he used some kind of Ben Talks or Ben. He used some kind of Ben logo on it, and Ben Bitboy Crypto, he changed the logo, but it took them until today to get the logo changed. And in the meantime, somebody put the copyright infringement on. And when that happens, Uniswap stops trading. So it's still trading on everything except Uniswap. But Uniswap disabled it. So if that's the problem that you're having, then that's what's going on. And also, if you're trying to use Coinbase on your laptop or computer, and it suddenly doesn't work, and it suddenly says that you don't have enough ETH or anything like that, switch to your wallet, disconnect, reconnect, and it'll work. So that I can't help you with then. All right. Well, anyway, good luck, guys. I will see you guys for breakfast in the morning. Until then, I want to say stay vaulted. I want to say stay bend over. I don't know. I mean, you do what you do what feels right with you. And we will see you guys again in the morning. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to sign up for MEXC, BitGet, and NordVPN down in the links below.
I'm checking my coins around breakfast.